Absolutely.
Good afternoon, participants. Welcome back to day two online faculty development program on artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science with research application. Welcome back, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome, Kaushik, sir. It's my great privilege to read profile of today's resource person, Dr. Kaushik Sekaran, presently working as an assistant professor in Symbiosis Institute of Technology, Hyderabad campus. Constitute of Symbiosis International, Pune, India. Also, he is serving as an adjunct faculty in Universidad Jorge del Estado de Durango, a public university located in Durango, Mexico. He has totally 17 years of teaching experience. He completed his BTech in Computer Science and Engineering from Sastra University in the year 2005. He pursued his ME in Computer Science and Engineering from MEPCO Telnet Engineering College affiliated to Anna University, Chennai. He graduated with first class distinction in 2008. Then he received his PhD degree in Computer Science and Engineering, specialization in cloud computing from VIT University, Vellore, India in 2015. He has published 35 plus papers in reputed SCI and Scopus Index journals, conferences, and book chapters. He is an active community member in IEEE and experienced state speaker known for inspiring and motivating the youth. He is an active reviewer for many international journals with high impact such as IEEE, Internet of Things, and Journal of Supercomputing. His main research interests include cloud computing, deep learning, and Internet of Things. So now I request Kaushik sir to take over this session.
Welcome back, sir. Kaushik, sir. Sir, no, sir, your voice is not audible. Sorry, sir. You muted yourself, sir. Please, can you please unmute and start the session? Sir? No, sir. Sir, now, sir, can you please just log out and log in, sir? Thank you. Sir. respected professors. The session is going to start in 2 minutes.
Hello, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Kaushik, sir.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Hello, sir. Can you start the session? Hello, sir.
Sir, sir, please, sir.
Hello, sir. Is it visible for everyone?
This is visible, sir.
So, are you able to see the screen and everything?
Yes, sir.
So, thank you for the brief introduction, and thank you for all the participants who joined this session of FDP of 1 week FDP that's connected being done by MLR8 institutions. And I'm very thankful to the HOD sir, Patan sir, as well as the coordinator Kiran sir for conducting such a wonderful FDPs and enlightening the young minds with lot of session inputs. So today's session, I'm going to talk about research aspects in deep learning for natural language processing. So I think just now they introduced me. I'm working as machine professor at the Symbiosis Factory. That is one of the campus working here, and the main campus is in Pune. So these are the few concepts we are going to see today. One is about introduction and the NLP and working model of NLP and what are the future trends in research in NLP. Okay, let's without any delay, we'll just jump into the NLP. So NLP means many people are doing research in NLP. I think I don't need to explain much, but as we need to start from basics, right? So I'm just going to have some basic sessions on NLP for a few slides, then we'll slowly jump into research. So NLP means it's a natural language processing. Most of you know because most of you are either faculty or business scholar, and you may be the Intel part in fictional business scholar. So it is one of the trending topic, and also NLP is one of the main branch in AI. So it's a branch of AI, artificial intelligence. So it studies the interaction between the computers and humans using the natural language. So, for example, if you are talking to your Siri, like iPhone, we have Siri option, right? Like it is an AI assistant in Apple iPhone. And suppose if you're talking Alexa in Amazon, they have a device called Alexa. So whatever we are talking, it is converting that our thoughts, right? So that is, and it is processing and giving that particular output. Suppose in Siri, if you are saying, "Hi Siri, today please check the time and tell me." So immediately it's telling the time. How it is possible is because of small concepts inside the NLP that is not very tough to understand. It's very easy actually. So let us see something brief, then we'll go into the core concepts. So it, it is the interface that provides computers the capability of understanding text and spoken words in the same way human being can. That means usually in AI, if you see in all the AI models, there must be an agent. Okay. So the agent has to do all the work, like it has to understand the data, and it has to keep on growing up with whatever the human is saying. It has to understand, it has to process according to its understanding. So we have trained that model very heavily so that it will be an accurate predictions or accuracy, whatever we thought that will be better in compared to all the other models because the AI model is completely competitive. Suppose today, if Facebook is launching something, immediately Google will launch something their AI. So like that, it is a competitive model. So we have to be on top. So every company is thinking to be on top in their own model. Suppose if they suppose Google Gemini is there and ChatGPT is there. So even I am saying text processing, but whatever, we will slowly come to NLPS. So if they are creating such models, so what they will do initially is they will incorporate the machine learning models, statistics, and deep learning models into computational linguistics. That means how linguistic. That means suppose we are talking English. Suppose I want to talk in my regional language. Suppose Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, like lot of regional languages. Sir. So every language they have their own grammars, linguistics, and so many things. So for them they have to tokenize all those things. That means rule-based modeling of human language to allow computers to understand text, spoken words, and understand human language, intent, and sentiment. So these many things they have to create as a rules and they have to tokenize all these things. So that is overall it's called NLP. That is natural language processing. It will be processed using some algorithms as well as some hardware. We will see both of it. So the human communicates with each other using words and text. Then you see now also communicating in a virtual media. Still you are understanding because I'm talking English. Suppose I know Spanish. Suppose if you don't know Spanish, what may happen is the other party may not understand. Only those who know Spanish they can understand. So we are using the common preferred languages like English. So I am talking, so you're understanding. So we are conveying actually, we are doing a conversation. So now how you can understand because you learn English in your early childhood from letters, alphabets, that slowly words, sentences, paragraph, essay writing, research paper writing. Now we can able to do all the things. So we are understanding. So but a computer cannot simply understand what we do. So they have to be trained for this. So for that, we have to train with number of models. Before that, inside the computer, if you go in depth, all the thing what the computer is zeros and ones. So I'm not going to talk much about hardware. I'm simply going to test the application layer and how we are designing it. So this is what happening inside a computer. Now, NLP is nothing but there are three main fields they are mixing and they are finalizing into a fourth domain called NLP. That is computer science with the help of AI. And also we are going to process the human language because at the end of the day, the human, whatever the scientist, developer, the human, whatever they are creating, it is for benefit of the human, right? For their betterment, for their ease of work. Suppose we are having fan, light, air conditioner. So it is making our life somewhat sophisticated, comfortable compared to the earlier generations. Similarly, these models are coming to enhance many new ideas, many comfortable living and other so on, so on. So we are in we can simply say we are in the top of the evolution. So we can be able to have new ideas, new models in the upcoming days. So the objective is to read and sometimes decipher, understand, make sense of human life in valuable manner, and also convert the unstructured data, which is produced majority of time to structured data with help of lot of algorithms. So I will tell you some algorithms also in this discussion. Mainly, my focus in this today discussion is research aspects. So I am going to talk how you can use this AI NLP in your research. That we will see in the last few slides. So first, I will think about the history of NLP. It is not new. First of all, I want to say AI is not new to us. It came from 1800, but 1930s we can stop. So there, the vision translations were happening by Peter Prayomsky, like bilingual dictionary. That means either English or Russian, or either English or Spanish. Like that. Initially, it has been bilingual, then slowly it has been evolved into multilingual. And in 1954, Georgetown experiment involved in automatic translation of Russian sentences into English. That was one of the breakthrough. Then in 1966, there is called ALPAC. That is the report of ALPAC came out. In that, they did not meet the exact expectations, but they still involved in designing such AI models. And in 1980, late 80s, machine learning algorithms has been developed, such as supervised, unsupervised, and so on, so on. Then in 2010, deep learning took over. Now deep learning is completely took over and it is widespread in NLP. That means with automation, we can do something better than what we are doing earlier. So that is one of the important big word. Now, why we are saying NLP as a disruptive technology means, see, nowadays everywhere computers has been occupying the world, but there are few differences I need to say. One thing people are thinking that computers may take over the human, like the concept technology like AI, and people are fearing that it may take our jobs. But actually, it's not. It is helping humans. The first point itself, I'm saying that's called ethical AI. That means it want to help the humans because human are creating AI, so AI may not destroy human directly. So those who are understanding and practicing AI, those who are practicing to design NLP, those who are understanding and enhancing this, they will be growing over time. But those who are negligent to do that, they'll be slowly invisible in the system. That is what it is completely, it is like a disruptive technology. That means it is also helping and also it is providing more jobs to humans. That is what we have to understand in the A in a positive way. That's also called A in ethical nature. There is one more paper. Recently, I read some article from Finland. They were writing about what are the positive aspects of AI. I'll also share that people will be able to understand what positive aspects because most of the people in debate or discussion they are scolding, they are literally yelling at AI, but actually it is like there are both ways we have to because sometimes AI is also helping humans in a lot of times. So now we will go into what is deep learning. Okay, so before going to deep learning, I want to ask participants any doubts if you have in between or if you're not understanding some concepts, you can very well unmute or you can even chat it in chat box and you can ask so that I will clarify that, then we will go for the next ideas. As of now, any doubts or you feeling? So till now, I did not have any chat. So I think there are no doubts for you, right? Or it's, I feel the chat is disabled for the participant. So the coordinator has to say. Yeah. Someone raised the hand. Is there any unmute option for the participants?
They can unmute themselves. Sir.
Okay. So there is one. Madam, please stay on. Please raise the hand. Yeah, you can unmute and talk. Or else we'll continue with the class sessions. Maybe the mistake typos. I think one more the raise hand is coming.
Those who have doubt, raise your hand and we will allow the mic.
Okay. So can we continue the sessions? That's no doubt in NLP we'll go for deep learning. Okay, so let us dive into deep learning. So it is one of the subfield of machine learning. Okay. So machine learning most of us know because machine learning means how much we know that is human learning. How much the machine knows that is machine learning. So this is a basic concept. But what is the use of machine to learn something same like humans? What is it? So again, I am told it is going to say us, if the machine is keep on learning, if it is learning more than a human, what will happen is it will help the human. Again, I already told this. It would help the human to perform our task in a better way. Okay, so that the machines we are giving more inputs and machine is learning and it is giving a good output. So most machine learning methods work well because of human design representation and input features. Suppose if you see in this feature in India, so the current word, previous word, every word they are going to become a part of speech. POS means part of speech. So we are going to take out the word and we are going to process it number of times. So yeah, this is what happening in the machine learning model. So machine learning becomes just optimizing weights to best make final prediction. So in most of machine learning prediction model and algorithms, we are going to have, it's also called predictive analytics. That means we are going to have a overall benefit like optimization so that we will get something quickly. So this process deep learning is taking care. So one day my friend asked me, what is deep in deep learning? Deep learning, what is deep in deep learning? So what might be the answer is, or what will be the answer is? See, if you're going to involve some layers, say for example, if I'm having input layer, output layer, but there are a number of hidden layers to filter your data in a more perfect way, like a kind of, if you're purchasing oil, okay, like sunflower oil, you are purchasing from shop. That's called double refined sunflower oil, right? So why they are doing double refines? Initially, some dust will be there. It will be refined by one time, and in second time, even if some minute dust is there, it will also be eliminated. So, like that in deep learning, they are going to put lot of sub layers or we can also call hidden layers so that our predictions accuracy models will be working fine. So this is called deep learning. Okay, so just now I told about the layers. So what you see here is suppose, for example, X is raw input and what you're seeing H4 is overall output. Now what we're going to do here is, so we are going to take number of layers and multiple levels of layers so that it will be enhanced in a proper way so that we can get a more accurate and proper results. So this is how we have to understand the deep learning. So suppose if someone asks you next time what is deep in deep learning, you will answer this because it's a right way of answering. Also, I told about the double refined sunflower oil. You can say that example. people will be crazy to talk about it, but it is a way we have to understand the analogy of deep learning. And on history and term of deep learning, how deep learning emerged into our computer science domain is. First of all, we need to understand about the artificial neural networks, how we understand our brain functions. So suppose there is neurons in brain. So every brain will have number of neurons, and accordingly it will be triggered by some actions. Suppose if you are touching a hot surface, immediately your brain is feeling it's hot, you have to remove a hand from the plate. So this is about all neurons and the signals passing through your nerves. That is also called synapses. So these kind of nerve function, how we understand it, so the spine having some function, certain functions to trigger that points, so that we are feeling that pain or emotion or what. So the similar model in computer science, the design that is called neural networks, where artificial neuron will be coming to the picture, and we will be understanding how we can understand the neuron the same way we have to understand it. So in 1960s, there is a scientist and author called Hubbard. He defined deep learning neural networks. In that, they clearly mentioned how we can understand deep learning models and similar to neural networks. When talking to neural networks, I have to talk about fuzzy logic. Fuzzy logic is nothing but, suppose you have zero, right? In between zero and what's happening, that is probability. But in probability, what happened to 0, 0.5 and zero point 0.5 to 1? That if it define perfectly, that is fuzzy logic, because we cannot define it perfectly. There is fuzziness inside that function. That means there is no clear way of defining fuzzy, so that it is called fuzzy. So that is overall it's called fuzzy logic. That means the logic that can be having fuzziness. Fuzzy means in actual English meaning is there is something not fulfilled, or there is something is chaos. There is something near to get output, but that is not an exact output. That is overall fuzzy. Okay. Now, why we are going for exploring the deep learning methods are, so here we have given some features such as learn features, because whenever you are seeing learn features, it is easy to adapt and fast to learn. And deep learning provides very flexible and it representing the world, visual and linguistic information. And it can learn unsupervised data, like raw data as well as sentiment data, like positive, negative sentiments and data will be processing. And reasons for exploring deep learning. Suppose in 2006, deep learning techniques started outperforming other machine learning techniques. Why? Because it benefit from a lot of data, and more GPU, CPU is used to retrieve the data from any big data, like big data such as, suppose if you want to process a big PDF or number of terabytes of PDF, that time we need to use all methods. And new models, algorithms are emerging every single day, every single hour also you can say, because I feel in India, China, USA, UK, Singapore, they are producing number of different machine learning models and predicting models, and also in their deep learning, number of optimization models are coming. That's also called bio-heuristic algorithm or meta-heuristic algorithm, where the suppose anti-copy optimization, time optimization, honeybee optimization, rate optimization. So what they are doing is they are actually taking the strategy of, suppose, an animal or insect even, and they are going to take those ideas and they are going to implement in the computer model to benefit us. Society. Okay. This is what's happening in the deep learning models. And also here we can see the improved performance, speed, vision, then NLP, such as, suppose you're saying to Alexa something, then Alexa has to do all these things before giving the result. So this is how we have to understand the scenario. So now how the deep learning is helping for the speech processing is. So the first prerequisites of deep learning on large data set happened in speech recognition. Suppose if you are talking, it has to understand your words. The computer has to understand your words. So that's called acoustic model. In deep learning, it is really helping the machine to process it very fast, like vocabulary, speech recognition. There are a lot of papers also already. See, that's called context-dependent pre-trained deep neural networks for large vocabulary speech recognition, written by Doug and the authors in 2010. In that, they are going to take or going to extract, filter the words, those also called phonics, from the overall speech data, and they are going to verify those words whether it is the right word what we are learning is correct or not. So these kind of models are trained in a very rigorous way. And for example, in computer vision, like the best example is image processing or image classifications, and also image feature extraction. These are all called computer vision. How it is helping is most deep learning groups uh, are focusing in computer vision. Suppose, for example, in 2012, there is a paper, Image Net Classification in Deep CMN, that is Convolutional Neural Network, by Chris Disky et al. So then what they are doing is they are going to analyze the bird and animal behavior. So first they need to input those images to the machine. Whenever the camera is seeing those animals or those birds, immediately it has to give the answer that so this is a flamingo, this is a ruffled grouse. So it has to tell the name. So that image for this different is doing very better because there are multiple layers involved. I already told you about data names. So those are the layers, layer one, layer two, layer three. So they are going fine grain or fine tune the mechanisms to up to the pixel level so that they can easily come up with the overall idea of doing it better. So now the advancement here is deep learning plus NLP, that is deep NLP. Okay, so this is what the current research trend is going on in our world, combining ideas and goals of NLP and using representation learning and deep learning because to solve many algorithms and many problems. Say for example, there is a person standing and drinking the water. Immediately the camera will capture and it will say that how the man is drinking the water. Because there are many levels of it. Suppose a person working in Photoshop and he can edit, but without editing, how they can edit it? They can directly look onto the camera. According to the camera pixel map in the machine, they can see the man is drinking water or he is not drinking water. Like that. Without editing, how you can say? Because that's called live dynamics or live capture. So the data they are taking and working on the machines, that model is called deep NLP. So this is what's happening in the levels of speech, that is speech, morphology, syntax, and semantics. The applications such as machine translation, sentiment analysis, and question answering agent. If suppose in interview, nowadays there is an automatic interview happening. There is no human or no interview will be there. Rather, a robot is giving an interview question to you. You have to answer and it will have it will exactly find whether you are talking or you are giving a thoughts. Because recently I've seen some movie called The Return of the Dragon or Dragon, that is Tamil, as in Telugu that movie came. In that there are some proxy interviews really happening. So in order to avoid this, nowadays machine is doing interview like robot is taking interview roles. So we cannot cheat the system. So like that, there are some innovations coming up. And phonology, I think this many of you, suppose if you're an English professor, those who are studying English, they may be having an awareness on this. Phonology, phonetics, phonemes. So these are all the way how we express through our vocal cords, how we are telling the words to the outside world, that is called phonology. Such as the traditional phonemes, bilabial, labiodental, dental. So there are some part, pharyngeal, that means from the, see, some people will be saying, suppose in the earlier childhood days, while listening and learning the words, alphabets, akshara. So that thing, what the teacher would say, I remember my childhood days. They used to say us to shout the words sometimes. A for apple, A for ananas. Like we have to very shouting, we have to shout it. Right? Why? Because that should come from stomach. If they're coming from there, then we can represent it in that way. We can remember it very fast. So these are called phonemes. Okay, and there are various consonants as well. And how we are mapping these phonemes according the computer can understand and he can pronounce same like human. That is challenging, right? So that is what we have to trains. That means we have to train. More training we have to do to machines to predict the phonemes, that the exact way how the human is talking. Accordingly, the computer has to understand it. So now here we can say them as vectors. So each and every vector or map in a token. Such as like this, there are five, five to six, okay, five here. Phases of NLP. The first is lexical analysis. We can make a note of lexical analysis is also called morphological processing. Okay, so syntactic analysis, semantic, discourse integration, and finally fragmentic analysis. So in every phase, we have some concept. We will see one by one. First is input. So the machine has to recognize the voice of the human. So that is called speech recognition. It may be any language. So those particular language. In initial discussion, I told you, suppose you can talk in Spanish, how you would understand. So that is called natural language processing. The natural language generation also we will going to see. Because till now we know only about NLP. There is called NLU and NLG. Today I will tell you what is that. Then finally we are getting out. First, what is NLU? NLU means natural language understand. That means it maps a natural language into useful representation and analyzing those aspects of language. That means their representation, just now we told you, right? These are the representation what we are going to use in our algorithms. That we are going to how the machine is understanding is natural language understanding. Then how after the machine understanding our language, how it is generating the output through NLG, that is natural language generation. That is, the machine produces meaningful phrases and sentences in form of natural language, some internal representation, some symbols or tokens and so on. For example, first say, Alexa, what's the time? Or you are asking to iPhone, hey Siri, what's the time now? So first it will immediately Siri, the word comes immediately, it will able to recognize okay the user is calling us. How? Because it is immediately catching those words and mapping into the tokens and it is defining those things. Even if you are suppose maybe Siri sure. Suppose if I'm starting Siri, then immediately it will answer. Even though I'm not intended to call Siri, but it is immediately recognizing it. So these are all the things that is coming in NLU and NLG. Let us go into the build system that can automatically generate coherent and useful text. And the NLP equal to NLU plus NLG. And there are some applications also we'll see that. Suppose the first application is machine translation. Suppose in Google, if you type any language, if you copy paste also immediately it is detecting, right? So that is NLG. Okay, if someone has how Google is detecting the language, even though if you are typing Hindi or typing some other language, immediately it's detecting and saying the language is. So that is what it is using NLG, natural language generation. Okay, so here the next is text summarization. Suppose say for example, there are a number of apps are coming out. Initially in 2011, there's a app called Symbiosis. Now the recent app I can say is Way to News or Daily Hunt, or there are some news channels. Then they are getting a big news into a short paragraph or a simple document, summarized document, right? But important point in there. That's called Way to News. I think most of you are using in your daily apps where you are seeing a number of news happening around us, right? So this is one of the way we have to understand the energy. Like even the email can be summarized, and even a chat GPT also can do this similar. Right? If you're giving a big here, research web will begin. Research immediately will summarize and tell you what is the key concept in that article. So these are all the summarization techniques using energy. And also dialogue systems and conversation AI. Just now we told some example like Siri, Google Assistant, and also Gemini I told, but here Microsoft Cognitive there is one more AI that they are helping you to understand the day, time, and so on. And also reading information such as weather monitoring and so on. And it is one more advantage where data to text generation is happening. Suppose if you use data set, so the energy is generating the data to an understandable text. Because sometimes there are more rows and more columns, a human cannot do it immediately, but the AI can do. That's called dark data set. In 2020 published this paper, non-data. The data text generation algorithm has been designed and it is a huge success. And other interesting energies such as there are storytelling apps out there, poetry, because all the time the grandpa, grandma, father cannot tell the story to you. But we keep on asking, please tell the story, please tell the story. So nowadays what is happening is the AI itself telling some new stories with innovative ideas. So this is also happening nowadays. But how? Because just I told you there are some tokens and representation. According to their mixing happening number of different iterations, finally they are getting a new story. Suppose here if you see the example, a big bird's birthday and he goes to the roller skating rink with his friends. Like that, the story starts. So here if you see, so the big bird again those symbols and that will be taken and mapped here. Big bird and other skaters. So the keyword is taken and it is processed in a different way to build a different story. So this is how we can understand how it is dynamically converted to different stories. And how it works, just now I told you number of tokens. So first is called tokenization. Again, there are 6 processes here. The first is called tokenization. Tokenization breaks the raw text into small words called tokens. These tokens help to understand the context or down to the model of reality. Like, see, I think most of us know, we already taught number of subjects like discrete mathematics, comparison, so on. The similar process, the grammar how we are feeling the grammars language, because then the big chunks are divided into small number of chunks, right? Similarly, tokenization means if a sentence is coming, you're going to convert it into word, and so on, so on. Okay? Then STEM is happening. Is the way toward lessening a word into its promising strength. That means even saying, every morning I used to read the basics A. So if it is a sentence like this, then it is like morning session. So immediately the stem is morning, right? So that is stem branch. That meaning is coming. A tree is there. The tree is having stem as well as branch. So number of branches combining to form a tree. Right? Doing the reverse engineering for it. So hope you understood this. Then the third is lemmatization. It basically groups together different forms of work or lemma. So like different chunks or cluster of words. If it is the same cluster, it will be united again. Then POS, it is also called part of speech tags. It signifies the different item from our form of speech and finally make it to the single, such as whether the word is noun or adjective or verb. It will be converted and it will be. I can also give you some example so that you can understand better. Then named entity recognition. Then finally chunking. Again, fix the individual pieces and group them into a bigger piece. Finally, so the machine is giving the final output. First is the lexical analysis, the first phase. Here, the sentences, paragraphs are broken into tokens, such as example, he goes to college. He goes to college. There are 4 words in it. And there are 5 token sentences. A paragraph may also be into sentences here. So even a dot, after the dot is contained, because it's a text-based process, so the dot is also considered a token. So it is called 5 tokens here I represented. So text is there, and immediately the sentence will be detected by analyzing it lexically. Lexically, the initial graph. Then syntactic, that's also called pausing. Where what is happening here is the word arrangements. Suppose the sentence Delhi goes to him is rejected. Why? There is no meaning here because Delhi goes to him because Delhi is a city name. It will not move. Only we can move to Delhi. Okay, right? So it will be because it will study the arrangement. The machine has to try to the study of arrangement, the relations between the words. That is syntactic analysis or process. The third is called semantic analysis, where the actual grammar check happens. Example, I'm directly going to example. I ate hot ice cream. We get rejected by the semantic analysis because it doesn't make sense. Because ice means it's cold. Because the computers are trained by them. Suppose if you say hot ice cream, it will be rejected. But nowadays there are some crazy things happening around the entire world, especially even in Hyderabad and Chennai. I have seen some examples. People are eating ice cream dosha, ice cream biryani, like what they're eating. That is really, I couldn't understand what they're eating, but still, it is very funny to listen that. But anyway, so then colorless green idea. This also would be rejected because green is a color. Right? So, but here again, a debate may come. Green, that means green energy also we can get. So that we can discuss it later. And the fourth phase is called discourse integration. That means how the words and sentences are being split into multiple terms and tokens. That is called discourse integration. The effect of sentence before a particular sentence, the effect of the current sentence on the upcoming sentences system. Suppose if I'm saying something, what would be my next sentence? Also, I have to predict. So that is the exact word I want to say here. For example, the word that in the sentence, he wanted that depends upon the prior discourse sentence. Suppose Sam ate ice cream. He wanted that. So this makes a meaning, right? Meaningful sentences. Then last is called pragmatic analysis, where it is one of the important steps because it is combining all the video to be interpreted as a request instead of an order. Right? That's how the machine has to relate to this. And these are the other ideas. These with patterns, present is sound and speech is related to sound as a physical entity. Pragmatics deals with different uses of language. Morphology gives the structure of the words and systematic relations between them. Syntax deals with structure of sentences. I can easily go and see to the syntax error, right? Semantic error. So these are things already you would have. So that is a similar thing we are. That's how we have to understand this. And these are the steps how to perform NLPs through segmentation, tokenizing, removing stop words, stemming, lemmatization, POS, that is form of speech tag, then finally name entity tag. Then we are going for segmentation. So before going to segmentation, I want to ask the audience, upload any doubts? Yeah, any doubts or anything you want to share? You can also put it in chat box or you can also unmute and talk about whatever doubts you have. You can just share, no problems. Kiran sir, can you continue? Ajmira, Kiran sir. Okay, I think there are no doubts. So I will continue it further. So these are the steps in the NLP. Now I have some few questions for the participants. Let us interact so that the MPP should not be just like a normal session and goes on. Some doubts, interactions needed. So I'll give one small kind of quiz, or I'll put some kind of question you have to answer. I think both moment are termed. So let us go for the next process called segmentation. By this sentence itself, we can understand what is segmentation, right? The initial sentence is the sky is clear, the stars are thinking at night. So now we are breaking down into two different sentences. The first is sky is clear. The second sentence is the stars are twinkling at night. So here, a big sentence is segmented into two different small sentences. So this is the process called segmentation. Okay, hope you got it. So you got the idea about segmentation. Okay, so let's move to the next phase, that is called tokenizing. The same sentence, suppose if you're converting multiple different tokens, such as we are taking out the word and analyzing each and every word, what's the meaning of the organization, right? Suppose if the word having no meaning, then sentence also will not have any meaning. Suppose if the word having meaning, but it's not properly formed or not properly framed, that is a sentence. So this is how we have to understand tokens and tokenism. Next is limited stoppers. So the initial process, that is the lexical phase, what is happening is the stars are twinkling at night, so immediately or at their stars thinking at it's simply meaning actually. So that is enough for the computer to process it. So the stop words initially it will be available. And stemming, I told them, suppose morning means accordingly morning, how many other words are connected right there. Here stemming, skip again, or skipping, skip and skips. So these affixes how we are arranging basic. That is how we can understand the stemming word. So suppose there are multiple stemming available. So in the overall idea about stemming is, suppose for example, I told you some example. Some other example, let's take. Suppose a name called Raju skips the class. Okay. So now the Raju he skipped the class. But what happened in actual theory is it can be Raju skipped the class, right? See, we can also take in two different other ways where we can understand Raju will skip his class and Raju skipped the class already. Okay, like that, we may understand and analyze the original data. That is called stemming process. I think any doubt up to now? So this is how we have to understand it. Next, lemmatization. So you can also please take a note so that in again if you refer it will be easy for you to go through this. So lemmatization is process of obtaining the root stem of a word. So that is lemma. The root stem gives a new base to form a word that is present in the dictionary from which the word is derived, such as the different words based on tense, mood, gender, etc. Where you have to use she, where you have to use he and it. So these kind of things that is coming in lemmatization. So that is and or things that is coming to be in lemma. And part of speech typing, that is, suppose if you clearly take out what are the nouns, verbs, adjective, suppose preposition, preposition. So this is how we have to take out in the part of speech. Because our part of speech contains all these different grammars. So we have completely analyze and accordingly we have to give the input so that the machine can be trained to understand how to give a proper reply to the users. Hope you understand this, right? Purpose speech time. which is named entity tagging. Here, the machine to pop culture references. Suppose everybody needs to be flagging names and important personalities, locations. So these kind of things has to be taken care so that it will be immediately taken those names and it will be exact. Suppose if you're asking what is the weather in Florida or what is the weather in Hyderabad, so immediately it has to give. So for the location, we have to give a specific name. There should not be two different locations in the same name. So that is for named entity tagging. So these are the evolution of NLP. Past it was NLG, only generation. Now the processing we are doing. In future, there is also called natural language linguistics understanding, where the computer can understand any language according to its grammar and syntax, and also it will be replying to you with an exact words what is coming next to it. So suppose usually the computer don't remember next to it, but with the power of the generative AI and other recent AI models, now this is coming up. That is called linguistic understanding. That is also called NLL, natural language through linguistics understanding. These are the flow where if we have seen till now. Now these are some of the applications in the real world, like machine translation, summarization, speech recognition, text to speech. Even in YouTube, suppose if you want to search on video, typing, they are directly pressing that mic button and they are talking. Please play this song. So immediately the song is getting matched because that's called text to speech recognition and speech in text as well. Previously. So there are many applications of NLP. I actually this complete seminar and webinar is FDP is based on about research aspects. So in this field, you can start researching the field of NLP to get a good idea, such as find and read fields, like searching sorting algorithms, correction of spelling mistakes, development of writing aids, foreign language reading aids, and question and answering systems, computer conversation, understanding text, extract information contained in the text. So these kind of many applications are there. You can take any one of the application, you can start your research. Or if you are middle of your research, you can again integrate this into your research. Speech recognition, there are many apps such as Siri, Google Assistant, Cortana, Grok, and so on. So on. Then chatbots for questionnaire systems and recommendation of good products and so on. Then sentiment analysis, such as suppose if you are seeing a movie, immediately after the movie, it is Netflix is asking, are you liking this movie? Are you loving this movie? Suppose if you are giving a like or love, immediately that similar suggestions will be coming in the next time. So this is for sentiment analysis. Next is machine translation, that is used in Google Translate. One language to another, like detection of language as and machine translation. Then spell checking and auto correcting family and applications on browsing. We can easily convert even a WhatsApp also, it is checking your grammars according to suggesting also. So there's even grammar check is happening. That's called spell check. So this is one of the application of NLP. Then survey analytics. We take the raw data and give results immediate. So that's for survey analytics. And that's also called human-raised missions. So such as translation tools, chatbots, like just to have seen the same discussions, and also the grammar corrections, such as grammar and question answering, text summarization, and so on. So, okay, what are the advantages? In one word, if I want to say the NLP, it is all sub-branch of A, right? So the A, you can say the advantage of A. A is helping the humans to perform their task in a better way compared to the previous era. That means 10 years back, A was popular. A was good, but this much not popular. So now ChatGPT is helping us ChatGPT, and so on, so on. So many products are making our life to be very easy. They are so free. So hope no doubts. Okay, so these are some of the advantages of managed and design and how it works. So at the same time, you see there are some disadvantages of NLP also, such as sometimes in the complex query language we are using, so that this is cannot understand it completely. That is another disadvantage for I feel. And also sometimes the specifically it is built for some application that is not being applied for all the generations. So these are some of the disadvantages I feel in NLP. Such as this is a basic structure. For example, if you are designing a chatbot, we have knowledge base, data store, NLP layer, application layer, right? So in NLP layer, everything is getting processed, and knowledge base where the actual things are getting stored. And in data store, we are going to see the analytics of the different functions, what we are doing. That is all data store. And there are many research papers are coming in nowadays where we can find number of different applications, such as NLP in healthcare sector, NLP in finance, NLP in uh, predictive analytics, NLP in Facebook, like largest of big data analytics, you can see. Facebook is one of the application using, and also there are similar many NLP tools and algorithms are coming to help us. That is one way. And these are some of the future trends where you can see where we can directly interact with the machine vision tools and also human vision. And the recent problem that can be solved in the future, such as suppose, say for example, if we want to generate a text, we are using ChatGPT. It is also depleting our brain, and ratio is increasing nowadays. Even if it is not writing essay or letter, rather we can we can directly ask ChatGPT, so their performance is going down, right? So in order to avoid this, what we have to encourage is ask them to write their own letter, even though it's a mistake from the top. Ask them to write their own essay. So that will motivate them to think by their own. Not against ChatGPT. I'm not saying not to use ChatGPT or the generative AI. We can use whenever we require. We should not use whatever we require. So this is a difference. Now coming to research metrics, how can we implement those in our and AI tools in our research metrics? So what you're seeing here is different general impact factor, which is item index and so on, where we can see what is what. I think most of you know about the general impact factor index. Now today the topic is about what are the various AI tools we can use for effective in our research paper writing as well as our research output increase. So these are some of the AI. So what we see here is ChatGPT most of us use, but other things such as paperpop. So such as mirror quillbot or it is A rating as your grammar check tool. If you want, you can also take a note of this. Slide through presentation maker tool, LEC explore the scientific literature tool. And these are some of the research like AI tools for paper writing. So I can each and every tool I can click and I will explain you this policy, or else you can directly take this and you can. I'll share my Google Chrome screen so that you can understand this tool, how we can use that also. Right? Now I'll share my Google Chrome screen. So the first tool is scholarc.com, right? So I'm sharing my Google Chrome. So hope everyone seeing this, right? So everyone seeing this, right? Scholarc. Click that. So it is a tool for summarize, analyze, and organize your research. Such as suppose if you can try for free, like if you are putting some big content, immediately what is happening here is it is minimize and summarize the text. Suppose if you want to write a literature, so it's not the toughest one in this. Suppose if we are having some 10 or 20 papers, we have to summarize it. So this tool will help us to do that. So that is one way we can do that very effectively. So that is one tool. And the next is Unreadable. Okay, so that also I'm opening next step. So Unreadable.ai. So this is very important tool for the beginner researchers. Those who are beginning, they can immediately get some understanding about the previous research articles and also the very cited documents. It will be coming with some extraordinary impact. It can directly give the differences also between two papers, even through the equation also to analyze and tell you. So please make a note of it. And also, I'll just share this. Yeah, anyway, I'll share this content PPT with you guys. So no notes, but anyway, please take a screenshot or something. Take a pic so that it will be easy for you to work with this data. So this is for leveraging AI for research paper writing, especially. So there are still 1,000 more tools available. I am showing you some limited tools. Whatever I am using or whatever I see, there is no limit for learning. So you can use the tools anytime, anywhere. So every tool is in cloud, so no cloud. So it is mostly for researchers, those who are writing papers. This will help you to minimize your time. Right? So suppose if you are spending 1 hour for literature review, then these tools may help you to cut down the time into half. So that's what we have to minimize the time so that we can maximize the overall productivity or output. So this is the we can say secret of success, right? So that is what I'm showing you some tools. The next tool is Max AI. It is very the same like that, but it is also having its own unique concepts. And what I like more is Billboard, like it is like Grammarly kind of thing. And yes site. This also we can work out essay.ai. I'll show you how it works. So I'm sharing that Google into screen. Hope you're seeing this right. So this site.ai, you please make it. It is an AI tool. It is supercharged with research, AI, and search out with the world's scholarly content, both open access and the paid. Suppose there is a content that is an open access you will see, but some papers, some peer-reviewed articles may not be in public domain. So this tool will take those reports and it will compare a document, then it will. So this is how this SI.ai. So such as LLM models they are using. It's a very wonderful tool for the research purposes. They have a number of products, especially in assistant, search, dashboards, and references. This is one of the important tool where I found it is better. And the next tool is Phrase. This is also wonderful tool. For ASC. You can also make a note of it. Phrase. F-R-A-S-E. Phrase. So in this tool, see this. Extract the search inside that magnet list. Suppose if you are the Google also having this page, but it is especially for the beginners, those who want to have the content and they understand it. So it will give more understanding on a particular topic. Suppose machine learning is one of the topic. We have 100 plus definitions for it. But what is the key definition or the main definition? This tool will tell you very easy for every words that matters. Then modeling, SMODAU. So it is a writing tool where you can, suppose if you want to write something by your own, but still you are having construct the grammar phrases and so on, you can get help from this tool. But don't completely depend on this because again I already told you, ChatGPT, this kind of technologies, modeling, it has to help us, not completely occupy your mind and so that we cannot think anything in the future. So these kind of things we have to use in a little bit, enhance our brain. Okay. There's also humanize AI. I think many of us are already using humanize AI. So this humanize AI, Billboard, these kind of things, humanize AI.pro, whatever we are writing, chat GPT content, again it will rephrase. But the problem here is what you're seeing here is, suppose I'm writing 1 seconds. I want to learn machine learning. Okay. Suppose if it was humans say, okay, so at least someone will say this as the beginner, and keep on typing something. And explore and deep learning or something. I'm writing something. Now to my say, okay, still it's kind of internet of things. I'm writing something. Internet of things. So okay, yes. Complete it and paste. So now what happened here is it will paraphrase, but it won't be same like what I told. It will be completely changing according to what machine understood. So what will happen here is if you're completely depending on this, you may get answers, but that may not having the confidence, but like how you talk. So that's the only difference, three difference. Understood this. Maybe it takes some time. Meantime, we'll go to some other tool like consensus. Consensus.a. So it is one of the tools where it is like a chat GPT, but here it is more about because it is analyzing 200 million plus real packets and it will give you suppose cloud computing and data here. And here, what's happening here is so here what is happening, what you are seeing here is immediately it is giving answers. And also it is taking from where it is taking also it is showing. That is the biggest advantage what we are having here. ChatGPT will tell the source, but it's also showing which book or which reference paper, IEEE internet computing, it is having that value, which how many citation for this paper. So everything we are coming. And also extract is zero based on study attributes. So like every single detail in this game is better for the researchers. So please make a note of it. Consensus.app. That's the tool. To participate. So it is like hands-on experience. You can also side by side you can do this. It will be easier and helpful for you. Now I again go back to slides. So these are some various tools what we have seen, and paraphrasing tool also one of the tools where we are doing the paraphrasing. And for English tools, I think many of you know already Grammarly is one of the famous tool where we are using. And there are some other English checking tools because sometimes Grammarly institution may have the access, but sometimes Grammarly is 3% is costly. So you can go with some free tools such as Yomo A, GoTo, Notion A. Suppose go for Notion A, let's check how it works. And I think this Notion A and stop sharing this and showing this screen. So this Notion A will help us in understanding the papers and also it will help you to create your documents. It will write. That is Notion A. And Yomo A also similarly it will work like this. Yomo A. So this is also an ultimate SAA academic writing. So like this is your the initially you can start doing this. Later we can convert it into but if you are completely doing this in plagiarism, there is a problem that AI detection in your text. So that is also coming in I think it as well studied. So you will face a problem. So what I'm advising is so you can take this for your customer, but please keep on rewriting this according to your own idea what's coming in your mind. Okay, that sounds better. So that is what you have to learn all the rules. There is nothing wrong in learning this, but please don't depend completely. Don't completely depend on these tools. That may be the wrong. Okay. Again, like sharing this situation. So then word tune is also not important item like for predictions. And this is one of the important thing you need to understand. See, I'm saying everything important because these are all for researchers, especially introduction. You can write easy because you know certain various paper references. But how you can manage the best citation, best references of this tool? Suppose, say for example, Zotero, EndNote. So these are one of the important even research target and as your estimate is called. Okay, let's go one by one. Zotero first, I'll explain. Now I will take Zotero. So it is also called your personal research assistant. So how we not use this is suppose if you are taking a paper and putting that title here, then immediately it will take you to the world of Zotero where we can see number of near relevant papers and it will keep on downloading those papers according to the citation style. Suppose APA format, IPT format, it's lot of citation style it will be downloaded and lot of things we can do with Zotero. But every time we are registering with the mail ID, that is also over there. But still, we need to understand the problems. We need to work on it. So next is EndNote. Let us open EndNote. EndNote, the best citation and reference management tools. So here we are seeing three analytical stories, but what we need is some ideas of the So here, first you need to log in with your Google account or some email account, then we have to use this. Suppose if you are typing some year of the papers, immediately it is taking and coming and accordingly to site will appear. I think most of you know about pinnotes. I think Alfie, you know this. If not, you can try this once. You will find a lot of interesting things here. Then research it. It's wiki. So this is the aid for smarter rethinking everything. So it's also giving a visualization workflow for the papers. Yeah, interactive visualization will come. Create graphs, you can create a 3D and visualized graph here. So, but Yeah, anyway, we have to log in with an email and password. So it is also important tool and good tool for the researchers who want in a graphical visualization way where we can include the graphs also in the research papers. Because as of now, I'm not motivating you wrongly, but it is the fact I have said there is people thinking that there is no plagiarism for images, but there's a big problem is there for image copyright issue. Suppose I am going to suppose Google images and okay, so here that's called mode, right? And that's also called tools. Here we can see the usage rights. Suppose if it's a Creative Commons license, then we can use the image. Suppose in these tools, if you are supposing clear with again, now again usage rights not filtered by license, commercial other license, we should not take these images because it is actually commercialized. So IPR issue make so for avoiding the we should also always go with CC, that is Creative Commons license. Now if you go with these images, the people may not put you in a tough place. Okay, that means you are not plagiarized. Suppose I am going performance brand in electronics. That is from Creative Commons. Then no problem. You can take this graph and you can also reuse this. Okay, but still validity. I can say two concerns. One is research ethics. The other is how we are using other research integrate into your paper without problem. So I'm not saying you have to copy paste the images, but you can compare that result with the result. You can do very good comparison studies. It's not a wrong thing. So these kind of tools will help you take those details and give you more fine details. You will have finer details too. That is the next. Just cement scholar using the also. Cement scholar. It is also a power research tool. We can get these many papers, 227, 317 papers from all fields of science. So suppose anyway, we can get all these things from Google Scholar and ResearchGate or IEEE Explorer, but still it is this AI powered research tool. It will help you get the literature papers that is not even in the because some people suppose I will show you an example. So this Jan Political Science. This is actually a journal where we have to spend some amount that is very higher amount so that we can open the article. But it is not always suggested to pay the amount pay the article. So suppose this interesting journal public article, it is on purpose as well. Okay. Now the topic of discussion is on articles. I'm showing you graphically what the guidelines. See, read about the open also. Yes. Article processing charge will be applicable for this job, 1,600 units. That may be roughly if you just one lakh that we this without okay, that is for article processing. But if you want to work on some article only articles, suppose I'm going for Pune for this article selections. So I'm going to yeah, volume 20. Number 2, issue number 2. See this particular article. Full text of this article. See here the problem is no access. And innovative and innovative information system now approach the authors. But here, if I take the PDF, there is called no access. So these kind of tough thing why to work. So that I am saying these tools will help us to make it more understandable and but also I think you know about cyber. I feel I need cross precision. So people are mixed. Okay, so this is one of the way we can access those as well. But maybe if you ask me to think of this title and page there, it may not available because it is very recently published. They may not index it immediately, but let us try. So, this coming new way of question. I want to see the content in it. So okay, so we have knowledge because there is a recently indexed tool. So like we can use this tool for our extract. Until it's going to be published selected. So this is one idea I'm giving to you. And these are some other useful links we have used, like tools for the IEEE Explore, more than million articles about it. Actually, that science damage for LC of that. So this. The new design just now I told you. So actually, in this sense, there are a lot of articles where we can stop sharing, stop sharing that link. So these are the other links for research findings, such as civil science, symbiosis, and functional biology. I'm damning factor, whether it is skills and which pathway it is so everything you can find strategy. And cyclopedia for open access papers as well as the closed access papers also available. Cyclopedia use for banned on the cycle. So always they used to change this domain name because Alexander Albagian is he created this website because of the computation. She went to Russia and she's so but there's a lot of students. She won't help the scientific community people to get open access to all the articles, but US through the corporate issues, there are some conflicts going on. But okay, that is another whole story. But I'm saying some hint that these are links you can use for research findings, such as Scopus performance you find. But Scopus.com is a institutional access restrictions. This is some of the okay, again, end of the slide. So this is my contact. You can contact me for the doubts of clarification of AA groups, NLP, and so on. Thank you very much, and you can also cite me in my Google's questions. Any doubts? I'll be waiting before for session last 20 minutes for interactive session for session doubts clearance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, now the participants can ask any doubts, related doubts, or any research doubts also can have, so that we can move forward. Whatever I told you, I need to right? So these links are section. But what are the tools to research? AI tools. Okay, third session, right? Some reason, right?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
This is Muhammad Ahmed, sir. Sir, I want to ask about the artificial intelligence use. How much AI is permissible in the research papers, or is there any rules framed by the publishers that how much AI can be permissible in the papers?
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Muhammad Ahmed, for asking a good question. Actually, it is one of the question is in everyone's mind, but people are hesitant to answer this. But thank you, you have asked the right question too. To me, see the AI content in paper must be actually, frankly, honestly speaking, because we should not use AI content for our research paper articles if you want to publish in a reputed journals like I Transactions, Elsevier, and so on. But there are some journals, like there are some predatory journals, I can say, where even if the A content is high, also they are putting it into publishing agency, they are publishing it, but that is actually wrong. So I can say it must be zero always. But suppose, sir, I can use some AI tools for my research. I want to take AI help. Yeah, you can very well take the AI help, but please rephrase the words and sentences according to your code. Suppose I'm saying an example also. Suppose I'm taking AI. What I will do is I can copy the content in one word file, place it side by side, and one more word file. By seeing that, I have to start typing, not exactly the words what the AI is giving. I have to think about that concept. Then I have typed by my own human brain analysis. I have to put it and I have tried it. So honestly speaking, 0% AI is the better way to write food research article. You can take the AI help, but don't completely depend on it. Don't think to even copy paste the content into your research article. That's my humble suggestion for you. Is my answer okay? Or any other discussions? Because I want to talk in a similar way, one more thing, because something called plagiarism issues, right? So in Clarity or Authenticate, we are checking our plagiarism. And what happening is, sometimes the plagiarism may be 30%, 40%. We are reducing it. But there's also called AI content detection. It is showing something strong. That means the Tenet itself, Tenet website itself, not detecting the AI content because AI also sometimes writes similar to humans. So we cannot completely say it is AI written or human written. So we have to self-analyze and own analyze before submitting it to the publishing agencies. Yeah, any other questions? Yeah, any other question, participants, related to this or related to AI tools and NLP? You can ask something, anything about this. I'll be waiting up before, then you can ask the questions. Then we have a conclusion session.
So much.
Thank you, Kaushik sir, for your valuable session.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So my session enlightened some good ideas among researchers. Are you hearing, sir?
Sir, sorry, sir.
Hope my session was good and it
Yes,
helped the
yes, sir.
people.
And we received the all good feedback, sir. Nice session, informative
Thank you,
session like
thank you
that.
very much.
We are happy to have you, sir.
Always, sir, always.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We deeply
thank you.
appreciate the clarity with which you have presented the concepts today.
Thank you.
Address every
So I'm still waiting for the participants to ask some questions so that I will be also happy, because it should not be like one-to-one session, like one-to-many session. It should be both way interactive.
I think they got
Sir,
the clarity, sir. That's why they don't. Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
So they are not asking questions. Means they are happy with your session, sir.
So there are two ways to do that, sir. One thing
Yes,
is,
yes, sir.
if they have no question, means they completely understood, or they did not understand as well. So
Dear participants or professors, please, sir is expecting some questions from you. So sir is happy if he has a questions. Any questions from audience participants?
participants, it's not a mandate of compulsory thing. Okay, you can also write me in my mail, because some people
Yeah, you can.
maybe hesitate.
We can share the contact details of the sir to the WhatsApp group. So if you have any query, please contact sir.
Sure.
Sir is
Okay,
anytime
so,
help sir.
sure, sir, sure.
Okay.
And
So
also research
we'll,
collaboration. Also,
yes, sir.
people are asking, sir, about research collaboration. I'm open for the good research always. So I can talk to them, collaborate with them in their research. If any good works, we
Okay.
can co-collaborate and publish the articles.
And we are getting the feedback like excellent session.
Thank you,
And
sir.
thanks for the
That
informative sessions
actually
like this.
that makes me happy
And
as well.
we will share the feedback to you, sir.
Okay.
Soon. Okay, participants. Do you have any questions? We'll wind up the session. Thanks for your active participation. And already we shared the feedback link to the WhatsApp group. So filling of feedback link is very mandatory for your attendance. Based on the attendance only, you are providing the certificates. Kaushik sir, it
Yes,
will end
sir.
up,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
You
Yeah,
can,
sure.
thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Yes, ma'am. You are in mute.
No, sir.
I'm not hearing. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me, ma'am.
Sir.
Mute. You are in mute. Your voice is not.
Sound happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sound happy.
Now okay, na sir.
Yeah, now I'm getting.
నేను చేశాను నువ్వు చేశాను చెప్పండి
Sir, we look forward to have more sessions with you, sir, in the future.
Sure. I think already I given some sessions to you, and one time I came physically to college,
Yeah.
and they given some sessions. Hope I remember.
Yes, sir. I know. I do remember.
Thank you. I'm sure I
Thank
will
you,
be.
sir. Thank you, sir.
in touch with,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dear professors, the link is active up to 5 o'clock. So already we shared the feedback link to the WhatsApp. And tomorrow onwards we will share the WhatsApp feedback link through the chat bar. We are not going to share the feedback link to the WhatsApp group. And if you have any problems in filling the form or any issues, please free to those who will fill the form, they can leave. One more announcement. The video, the lecture what we heard now, we are sharing the we are having the recorded video through the YouTube. That link also will share the participant along with the certificates. Those who are missing the FDP, the lecture, they can go through the video. Thank you.